time for the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. The Mike Wagner Show brings you famous celebrities and amazing people from all over the world. Listen online at themikewagnershow.com and on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. And watch the interview on YouTube. So sit back and relax and enjoy the Mike Wagner Show.
Hey everybody, it's Mike from the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Look at a professional website without breaking your budget. Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs at below the competition way. Call today at 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support at sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show. Get 10% off your first order. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level. Also, the Mike Wagner Show can be heard on the MikeWagnerShow.com. You can check our Facebook page at Facebook.com/The Mike Wagner Show. You can download and listen on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, and Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also on Anchor FM, Radio Public, iTunes, Google Play, and Apple. Also take the Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device and subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. We're here with two wonderful gentlemen from the Orlando and Tampa area. So we have a producer and director in Tampa who's very apt in making connections. We also have a director and actor who's also interested in making connections, and they're also both being kings as well. So they've done some work together, and they're out to promote a great movie and one that's coming up that is scheduled to be a crowning achievement. So without further ado, we have two gentlemen from the Orlando and Tampa area. They bring a lot of sunshine and, of course, a little bit of history. Live, ladies and gentlemen, from the Sunshine State, the wonderful duo, Rod Grant and Nick Naylor. Gentlemen, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having us.
Hey, no problem.
Oh.
All right, so Rod, you're a producer and director in the Tampa, Florida area. Nick, you're a director and actor also from the same area, or if correct me if I'm wrong, also Orlando. You guys are a force in the Sunshine State, and you guys have a movie out called The Connections featuring Laura Stetman, and you guys play a big role in it. And you also got an upcoming film, which is your crowning achievement to this date. We'll talk more about that. And before we get to those movies as well, too, both of you, tell us how you got started. So one of you go first.
Go ahead, Rod. Sure, yeah. So I've been in the industry since I was about 5. I started out doing catalog modeling and stuff like that, and then I moved on to the acting world and started in theater and improv. I did that all over Florida. And then I moved on to film because I like telling stories, and I love affecting audiences. So I got into that and started making films locally here in Florida.
That's amazing. And Rod, how about your story?
Yeah, this is my 17th year in the industry. This second time. I was doing it earlier in my 20s, and I quit and crossed over into writing and became an author, and then I realized that I had given up on my dream, so that didn't sit well with me, so I got back into it, and so I've been going strong ever since. I'm actually an actor and a producer. I don't direct, really.
Okay, because I was trying to correct earlier as well, too, and I'll make that note, too. So actor, director, and producer as well, too. So I guess we'll just combine all the into one and making a solid connection. But go ahead, Rod, continue as well, too, and also talk about somebody who works as an author as well.
Yeah, I've got a few books out. I'm published under my name, which is Rod L. Griffin. Grant is my professional stage name, so anyone can check me out on Amazon or wherever major books are sold.
Mm-hmm.
And, I've been quite a few films. I've done over 35 films, I think, including shorts. And Nick and I have worked together on, 5 feature films.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the latest one, action sci-fi called The Connection, that will be released this coming year. That
is going to be amazing. And tell us more about the movie and especially how you guys connected.
Sure, yeah, I can lend a little hand to that. So Rod and I met in acting class about 15 years ago now, approximately, and we started building a relationship that way, and we found we had a very similar, want to make movies and create and tell stories. So we kind of joined forces and started filling in some spaces that weren't really being done in Florida, and started doing multi-genre films. And this is our fourth or fifth one together now. And The Connection will be out in January. We're in post, so we're doing the editing and color grading. We're working on all the album and sound right now. So I'll actually be out in LA in 2 weeks, finishing up the soundtrack and putting all the mastering on that and getting it all done. We're really, really excited for it.
That was amazing too. And where can we see The Connection?
Well, it won't be out until January. We're like I said, we're still not done with it yet. We're probably slated for beginning early January to be out in select theaters, and then it'll go to VOD and all the standard places you can watch it, Best Buy, Walmart, all those places you can buy it.
Mm-hmm. And also give us a little background about The Connection as well too.
Sure. So The Connection is a sci-fi kind of action film. The basic plot is two people have a event happen to them which connects them in a way that's supernatural or out of this world. And these two characters who never knew each other, who have totally different lives, now have to work together to figure out what happened to them and how to function again in society. So it's a roller coaster of up and down. And we're really, really excited for you to see it. Laura Stetman stars in it, and I know you were friends of her, and she's friends of the show. Mm-hmm. She does a fantastic job.
No question.
She is looking forward to see it as well. Oh, absolutely. She's amazing. And everybody in the cast was amazing, and everybody in Florida was super, super good to work with. All the film commissions worked with us well. Rod did a great job of putting everything together, and we are super, super excited to have Joel Wynkoop in this film, the king of B movies himself. He's been well over, I think, 250 films. And he's been making movies since, the 70s. So I've been looking forward to getting to work with him, and it's been a long journey, and we finally got to the point where we had a perfect role for him, and everybody had a great time with him, and he did a great job. And, we're just really excited for everyone to see this film.
That was amazing, too. And, Rod, give us your take on The Connection as well, too, and how you play a part in it, and what were some of your thoughts on it. And feel free to join in any time, too.
Sure.
I play Gallagher as a deputy sheriff, and he's kind of the only character I think that adds any comedy relief to the movie. And as the story's unfolding, Joel, who plays the sheriff, is on their tail, basically trying to find the people that are, trying to find Vera and Foster, which are characters that are played by Nicholas and Laura Stetman. Mm-hmm. And so in the beginning, I'm kind of not really sure or understanding what he's doing or even agreeing with what he's doing, because it seems kind of all supernatural. But then I start believing in him and start working with him to figure out what's going on. Mm-hmm. So.
That is amazing too, and of course, talking about with that type of connection, having like the human form and aliens as well too. Would that be possible in real life, or is that going to be becoming a reality very soon, thanks to social media, especially and new technology?
It could. It's actually the script comes off a principle of physics that we put it together. We put a lot of research into figuring out how two people and two minds could be bound together, because what the connection does to them is make them feel each other's emotions. So, for instance, if Vera, who is the lead character played by Laura, is angry, let's say, then Foster feels that anger as well. And if he's happy, she's happy, and so on and so forth. And they have to find a way to balance that out without driving themselves crazy. And Laura starts to use that ability to her advantage. She plays kind of the she goes out on the far end with it, whereas Foster's trying to rein her in, and it becomes a really interesting battle between the two lead characters that I really think people are going to enjoy to watch on the screen.
Mm-hmm. And Rod, what's your take on it as well too?
On
the connection, yes.
It's a great story. Nick brought the story to me. It's been way back in February, I think. And I read it, and I thought that it was great. There wasn't anything like that. There's nothing like it out there right now. There's a lot of supernatural TV shows, but no, not a lot of movies. with this kind of story, and no movie that I've seen with this kind of storyline. So I thought it was a great idea, and the challenge became just how do we do it on a reasonable budget, because most sci-fi movies are really grandiose in their budget.
Mm-hmm.
But we found a way to do it, and it came out great. The trailer looks fantastic. We'll be able to release a trailer soon.
Okay. That's amazing, too. And you guys also worked together in Pawns, and I think you also had 100 Tears and Mr. Engagement. So correct me if I'm wrong on one of those. Pawns is one of them, and if it wasn't for 100 Tears and Mr. Engagement, what are some other films you guys worked on?
Sure. So Rob and I have worked on Pawns, which was a comedy that's out everywhere. Everyone should check that out. It's hilarious, and everybody did such a good job in that film. And then we moved on to a film called, we went from Pawns to Illusions, which was a kind of a horror thriller, which is a fantastic film again. And then we moved on to King Charles, which was the last film we debuted. And that's kind of a crime urban action film, which is, again, came out really, really fantastic. Had a great crew, and Laura Stetman is in that film as well. So if anybody wants to check her out, or a fan of her, they definitely want to pick that one up. And then we moved on to this one, which is The Connection most recently, which again will be out in January. So yeah, we've been going at this and working together on these large feature films for years now.
That is amazing, too. We'll talk about your crowning achievement in just a minute. You listen to The Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Looking for a professional website without breaking your budget? Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today at 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show. Get 10% off your first order. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level. Also, the Mike Wagner Show can be heard on the MikeWagnerShow.com. You can check our Facebook page at facebook.com/the Mike Wagner Show. You can download and listen on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also on Anchor FM, Radio Public, iTunes, Google Play, and Apple. Take the Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device, and you can also subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. We're here with actors, directors, and producers teaming up, Rod Grant and Nick Naylor from the Florida area, and they talked about the movie The Connection and coming up, a crowning achievement. But first, let's get to Rod and Nick as well too. Who were some of your favorite movie stars growing up, and what were some of your favorite actors and TV shows you guys watched? So, Rod, let's start with you first here.
Oh my goodness, favorite movie? That's really hard because I had a lot of people that I liked to watch. Comedically, Martin and Lewis are probably the greatest influence on me. But I had a lot of other influences as well. And the other question was favorite movies?
No, like your favorite movies. We covered favorite actors, or especially your case, like with a favorite director as well.
Oh God, you're asking the hard questions. I'm going to pass that on to Nicholas because he probably has an answer right now while I think about it.
Take your time. We'll put on the Jeopardy theme in honor of Alex Trebek.
Yeah. I'll jump in like a true partner here. Save him and let him think about it for a minute. So yeah, Mike. I've had a lot of influences throughout my life creatively. I really think acting-wise, someone who I really appreciate and who had a profound effect on me, especially since in my younger profession and even as I grow, I really focused on comedy, improv comedy, and doing stage theater. I really love to affect people, make people laugh, and I think Robin Williams did that for me a lot. I really loved his work and enjoyed every character he played, and all of his movies are just kind of timeless in my opinion. So he'd probably be up there as one of my favorites if I had to pick, top five. As far as directors go, so many people influence you, and so many people have influenced me. I would say that I don't have a favorite style or a favorite director. I would say that I've learned a lot from many directors just by watching their films and trying to become a better storyteller myself by looking at their lessons they give through the films they've presented. And I always recommend when I do seminars or when I go to festivals and talk and things, and I talk to new upcoming directors and people that want to get in this industry, I always tell them the same thing that I did. School is great, and going to film school and learning it is awesome. But if you want to know how to make movies, watch movies that move you, and watch movies that affect you in a way. And then, that's the stuff you need to be doing. And that's what the takeaway needs to be. So there is no one director, because I love all of them. You know what I mean? I love all their different styles. And if you can tell a story and move an audience, then I've got something to learn from you. And that's kind of how I look at it.
That is amazing, too. And what are some of your favorite genres and some of the genres you like to get involved in?
Sure. So, my career and the way I'm moving, I really want to do my end goal is to do like action comedies. I love action films. I was raised on, old dubbed Chinese martial arts films. I've done.
I got a kick out of those on Saturday night. Jackie Chan, Bruce Lee. What happened?
They're the best. And I grew up on that. I grew up on Sylvester Stallone and, Arnold Schwarzenegger and those kind of people doing those action movies. And that's where I want to go. I really love doing that. I've done martial arts myself my whole life.
Oh, really?
So, I really want to do that. So I want to mix the comedy and I want to mix the action. So that's where I'm kind of going. And those are the kind of movies that I grew up on. So that's kind of where, you want to do. You want to do something that affects people, makes them laugh and happy, and also gives you that, I can be the hero and I can step up and do something good too, like the kind of feeling those movies give you.
Amazing. You talked about the martial arts as well too. What have you studied so far?
Yep.
I was talking about you studied the martial arts. I was just saying, with Nick, what have you studied?
So I did boxing for about 6 years. I've taken karate when I was a child for a few years, and now I've done MMA for since I was in my mid-20s.
Wow, interesting.
So just everything.
I was going to say, how far did you make it in the MMA? It's like, I was watching some of that and some of the people. It's like, that just unbelievable what they do.
Yeah. I never fought professionally or anything. I just study it. Stay in shape. I enjoy doing it. And, it's good to know when you get into film what real fighting and what film fighting is. So knowing the difference is important.
Right. And Rod, would you dare take on Nick in a little bit of MMA fighting yourself? I mean, are you willing to take him on or no?
Rod's been in martial arts his whole life too, so I don't know.
Really? Well, that's good. We'll talk about maybe like martial arts and maybe do a video or something. So
producer director cage match. What are you trying to set up here, Mike? You're getting us in trouble, buddy.
I'm kidding, guys. I'm kidding. Rod, I want to get you in trouble. So maybe you can talk about a little martial arts too, and you guys can maybe practice, compare or something. Maybe put out a film or something, almost like a Jackie Chan.
Yeah, maybe we'll do a co-starring action film one day, Rod. I'll start right
like that.
Joel would be all about that.
Joel would love that.
and of course, we talked a little bit about some of the, the funny martial arts. What were some of your favorite martial art movies? It's like, I think of like Enter the Dragon and, oh my gosh, I think, not just Rush Hour, but along the lines Enter the Dragon.
Yeah. Anything with Jackie Chan, Bruce Lee, any of the old school 80 action hero movies, I'm in love with. So all of those. Rush Hour. You mentioned Rush Hour. That was when I first saw that movie. I was like, man, I want to make films like this. Like, I would love to get to there. And we are slowly moving. And I've done a couple action films, and I've helped collaborate on some action films as a stunt coordinator and stuff. So we're getting there, and I'd love to be able to do that full time. But as you know, those take a lot of coordination and planning and large budgets, and we want to do it safely and correctly. So we're getting there. Right,
exactly. You don't want to hurt each other, lawsuits and everything else, and of course take your time. And of course, Roddy can also throw in your two cents on this deal, and don't be afraid to jump in.
Sure. We'll let Rod take over. What are some of your films and stuff?
Joel's actually wanting to do some. He came in when we were doing auditioning for The Connection. He had some ideas about adding some martial arts to it, and he was doing some moves in the. He'll probably remember that, I'm sure. It was great.
Yeah, during our auditions, he wanted to add some. He thought the script needed some badass martial arts in it, Mike. We had to tone it down a little bit because it's not that kind of film.
I'm going to think of a name for it later right now, but we're going to talk about, once again, your crowning achievement. You listen to The Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Look at a professional website without breaking your budget. Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs at below the competition way. Call today at 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show. Get 10% off your first order. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level. Also, the Mike Wagner Show can be heard on the MikeWagnerShow.com. You can check our Facebook page at facebook.com/the Mike Wagner Show. You can download and listen on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also on Anchor FM, Radio Public, plus iTunes, Google Play, and Apple. Also take the Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device and subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. We're here with two wonderful gentlemen from the Florida area. Actor, director, producer, however you want to mix it in together, Rod Grant and Nick Naylor. They talked about the movie The Connection, which made a really good connection. Laura Stetman is also in it. And also forgot to mention about Rod Grant. He's also the youngest author in history and published 3 titles in 1 year in 3 separate genres, and also won the Tampa Film Review's Best Male Performance Award, and of course also include 100 Tears, Mr. Engagement, Pawn, and the crowning achievement of all you guys are so excited to talk about is King Charles. Let's talk about it.
Sure. Okay. Yeah, King Charles was the last film we released. It came out. Oh, when did that come out, Brad? I don't remember the exact date we released it on.
About a year and a half now, I think.
Yeah, it's been out for about a year. It is a fantastic film. It's a kind of action crime drama. It's kind of dark and gritty. Stars some just amazing people, and it was a great cast and crew, and we put that film out, and everybody's just had really good reviews on it so far. They've loved it. It's out everywhere. You guys can pick it up. Amazon, Best Buy, VOD everywhere, Roku, all that stuff.
It also stars Laura Stetman,
Hilton Roberts, and Priscilla Henriquez.
Okay, and I was going to mention Laura Stetman. Also, who else is in that film, too?
Yeah, Laura Stetman also played, she had a small supporting role in it. Can't remember the character's name. She was the daughter of, she played the daughter of one of the other characters.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So that's actually how we met Laura. So she came in and did a great job, and we actually wanted a bigger role for her, but she looked so young at the time. She was way younger than the part called for. So, but we kept her in mind, and when this came along, Nick, she was like Nick's first choice when The Connection came along.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and then do you got what projects do you guys have coming up as well?
Sure. So I have a couple films in pre-pro right now that once I finish with The Connection, I've still got it, like I said. We're still almost done with editing and then coloring and soundtrack and all that fun stuff. So once that's done, I've got about 4 or 5 films coming up, features that'll be done. Nothing I can totally talk about yet, contracts and stuff. But we're getting close to being able to do that, and I would suggest everybody follow us and kind of keep track. Like us on Facebook, go to our IMDb, and be looking for that because we cash nationally, so everybody has an opportunity to throw their hat in the ring to be in our films.
That was amazing too. And Rod, what are some of the upcoming projects that you got going on?
I've got I think 8 or 9 films in development that did not include Nick's. Whatever's Nick. Nick has quite a few of his own in development as well. The most immediate thing I'm excited about doing is a comedy, which is an adaptation of a play I wrote called Women Want Everything, and Nick was in that as well, and hopefully it'll go into pre-pro on that first of the year.
Okay. Great. Okay.
Yeah.
And also, you also got your website as well, too, inspirationfilms.net. You can just tell us a little bit about that. And what are some of the movies?
Yeah, I started producing films probably about 7 or 8 years ago. I reached a point in my acting career where I didn't want to move back to L.A.
Mm-hmm.
And so I thought, well, if you're not going to move back to L.A., then you should start producing. And, there are a lot of talented people here where we live, but they don't have the same opportunities that people in L.A. do just because of where they live.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to not only help my own career, but help my friends, and started producing film, and I think I've done 5 now, and we're still going strong, going pretty strong. So excited about the future and what we have going on.
And, of course, you also included 100 Tears, Mr. Engagement. We also mentioned Pawns and King Charles as well, too. 100 Tears and Mr. Engagement, you can just tell us about those.
Well, 100 Tears, I only had a part in. I didn't produce that. It was written and directed by Joe Davison, so it was a great film. It's actually become kind of a cult classic. You can rent it or buy it wherever movies are sold, and I think they're actually looking at doing a sequel to it. And Marcus Koch, I think, also directed it. Who's phenomenal with, he does a lot of special effects. That's mainly what he does, I think, and he does a phenomenal job. He travels around and do all kinds of films doing that. And he's worked with us before. I think he worked with us on Illusions and did all of the work on Illusions, all the blood and everything. He did a great job.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, what was the other? Oh, Mr. Engagement.
Mr. Engagement,
Mr.
yes.
Engagement was the first movie that I actually produced. It's a romantic comedy, basically about a guy who has trouble committing, and he can't commit to his longtime girlfriend, and she finally decides to break up with him because of it. And so he gets the bright idea that in order to get her back, he's going to get engaged, only to another woman. The problem is that every woman he keeps asking keeps saying no. And all of his friends keep giving him this Cosmopolitan magazine advice on how to get married. And it keeps ending for him hilariously. So, yeah, that's out. Just like all our films are out. We're very fortunate that we've gotten distribution, and all our films can be seen wherever major, films are sold.
And where can we find the films at?
Everywhere, like Amazon, Prime, iTunes, Vudu, everywhere. They're all on DVD. So if you're old school and you like the DVD, which I do, we always have behind the scenes footage and interviews on our films, and so that's what I like. That's why I like to buy the DVD. But somebody just told me the other day that we're on Pluto, so we didn't even know that. It's like, oh, okay, great. But I don't know.
Nice.
So
I'll tell you, social media is expanding, which is great. And also, guys, as well, too, we got a few minutes left. We know you're very busy, but we appreciate you coming on. You guys have been fantastic. What do you consider your favorite project and the most challenging?
Wow, yeah. I would definitely say every project they take on as the next one is the most challenging. As an actor or director, I like to push myself and do something that's not in my comfort zone, or something to the best of my ability that's better than the last, and that's really what I do. And I think with this film, The Connection, we really pushed ourselves into the limit of what we can do, both filming-wise and directing-wise, and really push the actors to give phenomenal performances for the audience. And I really am excited for audience to come out and see this film and really watch it and take away, what we meant for them to see. And the film is really based on at the end of the day, the film is really what would normal people do in a very real world with just a little bit more power than everyone else. And I really want the audience to watch the film and see that. And when they leave the theater, ask themselves, would they use that power like Vera, or would they use that power like Foster, and really look inside themselves and see that? And that's kind of the message that we're going with, and a really, really fun package. So yeah, it was challenging and it was fun. And I really, really hope that the audience and everybody that sees it just enjoys it.
And Rod, how about you?
Yeah, I think it was, the question was,
your favorite project and the most challenging.
Up to now, you mean?
Correct, yes.
Yeah, Nicholas is right. Every film has its own challenges. I think every film that I've produced and that we've done together, we've had different challenges on every single one, I think. And we just learned from them and then took that to the next project. I always tell people that I'm interviewing for this business that producing a film is kind of like putting out small fires. As you're making the movie, you're kind of handling problems that come up. So the problems that we had on this film were actually very minute in comparison, and although unique, they were things that we were able to handle right away. And one of the biggest problems we had on this film is just finding the right locations, I think, which is something we never really had a problem with before. Nick had a very specific look about what he wanted, and trying to find that within our area was a little bit difficult. We actually went out of our area for the motel scenes. We couldn't find anything in our area that looked like how he wanted it to look, so we ended up traveling a little bit to find that. But it all came out great, and the movie looks phenomenal. We're excited to release it and get it out.
That was amazing. What do you guys consider your most memorable moment
in the movie?
It can be either the movie or any of your other ventures.
For me, the most fun I've had is making Mr. Engagement, because it's a comedy. I'm a huge comedy person. I'm a huge physical comedy person, and I got to do a lot of that on that movie. So that's probably the most fun that I've had. Yeah. Nicholas.
Yeah, I would say for me, Mike, it's such a challenging question, but for me, I think it's always the same, and I know it comes off kind of cheesy, but after we make the film and we wrap and we put up with all that, the most amazing and just the best part for me is sitting in the theater in the audience with your friends and family and the cast and crew, and watching the culmination of all of our hard work come together, and seeing the audience react to it and feel it and be moved by it or enjoy it or laugh to it. And for me, every time I complete a film and we watch it for the first time on the big screen in the theater with all those people, that is my biggest achievement literally every time. It's like we did something, we made something, and people like it, are moved by it, affected by it. And to me, that's just the best part of filmmaking for me.
That is amazing, too. And who do you guys consider biggest influence in your careers?
That's a great question, Mike. I'll let Rod answer first.
Well, I think I answered that earlier. Like, probably the biggest comedic influence was Martin and Lewis. Yeah. I really don't. I'd have to think about that.
Okay.
Other than them.
I'll take over. So, yeah, I would say, the biggest influence to me is, I know it sounds cheesy again, but it's always the story for me, right, is moving and affecting people. So what drives me is I wake up with an idea and I go, okay, I have to tell this story to people. So I don't know if that counts as me or the thoughts in my head or whatever, but telling stories is the biggest motivator, period. I just keep wanting to tell stories and have people affected by those stories.
That is amazing, too. And what's the best advice you guys can give to anybody at this point?
Rod, you go first on that one, buddy. You're the guy. You got it.
Best advice someone wanting to get into this business? Is that the question?
It can be that. Just best advice, either for business, acting, or just in general. It's up to you.
Well, for anybody wanting in this business, definitely be tenacious about it. Don't give up. Don't accept no for an answer. Just keep, moving forward, even though there may be times when you're going to get, pushed down or said no to, or just keep striving forward for what you want.
Okay. And Nick, how about you?
Yeah. Great question. I would say in general, and it can be in this business life, whatever, I would say my biggest advice I try to give to everybody who, whether it's film or whatever, is just find something that you really love doing and you're passionate about and doing it, and don't let other people get in your way or stop you, even if that means you have to do it yourself. I was talking to a younger guy at a theater festival, and he was like, I want to get into comedy and stand-up, but all my friends think it's a bad idea and hate it, so I've always, I've never done it, and and I give the same advice to everybody, and what I told him is, well, the hell with those guys. Go to that stand-up club by yourself, sit there, watch the shows, and start making friends with people that want to do the same things you want to do, and you'll be surprised how fast you can develop and grow in your areas. Don't let people that say they're your friends or your family or whatever stop you from doing whatever it is, whether it's a tech career or a movie career or whatever. Don't let other people be your roadblock. Just go out there and do it.
That is amazing, too. Guys, just want to say a big thank you for your time. Looking forward to having you on soon. And having you two guys together, you surely made a connection. Looking forward to having you guys again soon. Tell us once again your upcoming projects, what's your website, how do people contact you, and where can they all find your movies?
Well, The Connection will come out, probably won't be out till the summer of next year in theaters in a limited run and on DVD and VOD. But we have a premiere coming up in January, and in March we'll start hitting festivals. And then for me, my next project hopefully is a comedy called Women Want Everything. They'll start going into production next year. And you guys can find us on inspirationfilms.net, and we're also on Facebook. The film, The Connection, is on Facebook, so please like us there. And Nick?
Yeah, that's what I would say, too. Reach out to us on Facebook. Reach out to us in Inspiration Films. You can follow us there, and we look forward to making connections with all you guys.
Sounds great. Guys, I just want to say a big thank you very much. Rod Grant and Nick Naylor of The Connection, King Charles. Big thank you for your time. You guys have been fantastic. Look forward to having you again soon, both of you especially. And do us a favor, please keep us up to date.
Yes, sir. Thanks, Mike. Thanks for having us, brother.
For having us.
Thanks for listening to The Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Listen online at themikewagnershow.com and on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. And watch the interview on YouTube. Also, become a sponsor of the program and or donate today at themikewagnershow.com. Join us again tomorrow for another episode of The Mike Wagner Show.